Joe, I wasn't here yesterday. What did you do?
I think all we did was just go over the Nullification crisis of 1832. If you want, I can give you my notes.
I can't read your notes anymore.
Oh, I have another idea.
Shoot.
I think Grace built some crazy time machine. Here, I think I know where it is.
Want to bet it doesn't even work?
Oh, not a bet I'm willing to make.
How does it work?
You just put in the day, the month, and the year, and you just go back to it. The super awesome, totally functional APUSH time machine.
Want to try it out?
Let's do it.
Alright, are you sure this will be a good idea?
Yeah, this will protect industry since British goods are sold much cheaper. This will make American goods easier to obtain because the tax on British items will be too high and it won't even be worth buying. The North will have a huge boom in business.
But won't the South get mad as they don't have much industry and will have to pay higher prices since Britain won't buy from the South if no one buys what they make?
The increased production through more industry will make prices overall lower, even for them.
I trust you. I'll just sign here and voila, c'est fini.
It looks like Jackson is discussing with his Secretary of State, Martin Van Buren, about what will eventually become the Tariff of Abominations.
And the point of this tax is to help industry, to promote it, to protect it, because industry is becoming more relevant to a modernizing world.
But you know the South won't be happy with this, especially Calhoun. They'll fight you on this for sure. It's seriously going to hurt their economy because they rely on selling their cotton to the British, and the British selling it back to the North as an actual product. But no one will buy it if it costs way too much.
But that's exactly what I'm thinking. It's incredibly hard for our American manufacturers to keep up with European manufacturers. If their goods are too expensive, people will turn to American markets.
There's a reason it was pretty much ineffective under John Quincy Adams, you know.
Well, I'll actually enforce it. He was weak. Since when am I not a man of my word?
I'm warning you, Jackson. You know how this will look to the South. You know your current vice president won't take so well to this. There's no way we can stand for this. We must protest. We must have the South be heard.
Let the new England beware how she imitates the old.
You're all right, all of you. I'll fight for the rights given to us by the Constitution. I'll fight for South Carolina. I'll fight for the South. On behalf of South Carolina and the rest of the South, I present you the South Carolina Exposition.
Isn't this kind of related to the Kentucky Resolution?
What was that again?
I think it was when Jefferson argued that each state has the power to declare federal laws unconstitutional and void.
And what's this?
This is the South Carolina Exposition. The South will not stand for your tariff of abominations. We are not contented in the slightest. It's unconstitutional, and the southern states together will rally to nullify this goddamn tariff.
It doesn't seem like your fellow states are with you.
This isn't the end, Jackson. You didn't win. My fellow South Carolinians, after being humiliated in front of Congress, it has occurred to me what we need to do. There's no way we are backing down. If no one is to support us, then we will nullify this tariff ourselves.
How will we do that?
We simply won't pay them, as long as we keep our strong opposition.
Well, what if Jackson threatens the South? What if he tries to physically coerce the South into paying the tariff? There's already been rumors that he privately threatened to.
Then physical force he will be met with. If that's the case, we threaten to secede. He's sure to cave. He's headstrong, but he's not an idiot. You know we can't let Jackson get away with this. For someone who's from the South, it doesn't really seem like you care about getting a victory for the South. Are you some kind of Jackson supporter?
Of course not, but you know as well as I do, Jackson isn't a coward, and he most certainly is a man of his word. We both know he has the power to crush the Carolinians and yourself in the process.
Are you saying you're afraid of him?
No, but why sacrifice lives for something so unnecessary, something that could be easily solved? You have to give a little bit to get a little bit.
What did you have in mind?
Something that would lower the taxes for the South, but keep them in place to some degree to keep the North at bay. By reaching an agreement, Jackson most likely won't have to use the force he threatened. I propose an idea. A new tariff that will serve to protect northern industry, but also not damage the South's economy beyond belief. As outlined in my tariff, the tax will be restored to its original 35%. Not ridiculously high for the South, not ridiculously low for the North. Northerners, have we reached a compromise?
I guess.
Southerners, have we reached a compromise?
I guess so.
Speak for your own state. No way is South Carolina going to settle for this. In South Carolina, this is still deemed nullified. No way will we accept 35%. That's ridiculous, and you know it.
This has gotten completely out of hand. There's already been a compromise, and it still isn't enough. I swear, Martin, I will not let them walk all over us.
Well, what do you propose that we do?
We go to Congress, we make a proclamation. We respond to that little convention they had the other day. We can prepare troops to send to South Carolina, and they will collect the tariff revenue. A proclamation is exactly what we need to urge Congress to give us a pass to use military force to enforce the tariffs.
All right, let's get to it. I don't care what that tyrant says. It means nothing to me. He thinks threatening to round up troops is going to scare us back to being submissive to this oppression. I stand by my original statement. We will continue to void the tariffs and the laws. It oppresses the South. It isn't constitutional. And if it puts us at a place to go to war, then so be it.
I finally got approved to use the Army and Navy to collect these tariffs. They'll be wishing they never nullified anything. I told you I wasn't afraid to use brute force.
Andrew, you know I always support you, but I think you've underestimated South Carolina. This might be too far past reaching a full resolve.
I don't care if there's no winner. Our country will not survive like this. Calhoun, it's time to give it up. It's time to reach some sort of peace, and you know that.
What are you thinking?
Another compromise tariff. It'll also serve as a response to the force bill. Over the span of the next 8 years, it'll take that tariff down by 10%. It'll be almost how it was in 1816. Calhoun, can you agree to that?
Yes.
Jackson, can you agree to that?
So long as South Carolina backs down on their nullification.
Consider it done.
So it seems like the U.S. avoided a large-scale conflict.
Temporarily. This is the part where the South repeals the nullification.
Well, my friends, it has been a long run and we didn't win, but we didn't lose either. I'm now repealing some of our nullifications. As long as the tariff was drastically lowered, I think we got a large part of what we wanted.
It basically shows that the differences between the North and the South are, well, becoming more prominent, and that's something worth fighting over in the eyes of the North and the South.
So basically, it's just foreshadowing the Civil War?
So, all caught up?
All good.